The GOP candidates met for their fifth debate last night, 7 weeks before the all-important first election contest in the nation. There was the usual Trump-Jeb dust-up, a resurgent Chris Christie, and a feisty Kasich. But perhaps the biggest moment of the evening was this exchange over surveillance between Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz.
We are now at a time when we need more tools, not less tools. And that tool we lost, the metadata program, was a valuable tool that we no longer have at our disposal.
Marco knows what he's saying isn't true. You know, Mark Levin wrote a column last week that says that the attack ads his super PAC is running that are saying the same thing, that they are knowingly false, and they are in fact Alinsky-like attacks like Barack Obama.
I promise you, the next time there is an attack on this country, the first thing people are going to want to know is, why didn't we know about it and why didn't we stop it? And the answer better not be because we didn't have access to records or information that would have allowed us to identify these killers before they attacked.
Okay, we got a lot to get to. Let's start with that, Greg. This is an issue on the surveillance and foreign policy that basically, if the Republican Party has a big tent, there's a group on one side and one on the other, and I think that was a debate last night where they come down.
It's fantastic, though. The diversity, though. You don't see this diversity on the Democrat side. They all are in lockstep. And how different would the world have been now if the fifth debate, the one that we had last night, had actually been the first? If we had taken terror and national security as seriously as we do now, if we had done that months ago, this debate last night aligns perfectly with the desires and the priorities of a nation. There's no detours, you know, about polar bears or childhood obesity or closing Gitmo. When you compare it to what will happen this Saturday, where there's nothing diverse about the Democratic field. It's a uniform flock of people saying the same thing. This was incredibly refreshing. I disagree with Ted Cruz. I think he argued persuasively his side. I'm on more the side of Rubio about the programs. I thought they both did really, really well.
I thought they both made some good points on it. Kimberly, what did you think about that particular exchange?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, to be honest. I thought this is substantive. These are the issues I want to hear about. It wasn't, you know, personal attacks. There was like, let's talk about the merits. Let's talk about where you stand, what your viewpoints are, what I can expect from you if you're president, et cetera. So that was something for the audience to really start to make some decisions about, right? And I enjoy kind of a good sport like that and debate back and forth and going back at it. So for me, I thought it was excellent and also revealing.
What did you think, Eric?
So I'm such a geek. I watched it a second time. I watched it last night, but I watched it again today. And the interaction between Cruz and Rubio is really, really striking. I thought Rand jumping in on Cruz's side was interesting, and then they brought Chris Christie in to jump in on Rubio's side. So Greg's right. There's that juxtaposition of the two thoughts on metadata. But the whole debate was about national security, foreign policy, terrorist. Fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I love the Donald Trump, Jeb Bush going at it. I think both of them did well. Now, I don't think either one of them outdid each other. They both went at it.
Shall we play a little sound?
Oh, do you have it?
Even though you've seen it twice.
Oh,
we have this from Trump and Bush. Here we go.
He's a chaos candidate, and he'd be a chaos president. He would not be the commander-in-chief we need to keep our country safe. Look, the simple fact is, if you think this is tough and you're not being treated fairly,
isn't tough and easy.
Imagine what it's going to be like dealing with Putin, or dealing with President Xi, or dealing with the Islamic terrorism that exists. This is a tough business to run for president.
I know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is real tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
So, a lot of people like that exchange.
I did. I liked it. I like to see how. Well, see,
you didn't?
And Jeb has done this in the past in prior debates where he throws something at Donald. Donald will come back and smack him back real hard, and then Jeb kind of laid back, but he didn't. They dusted it up a little bit. I like the Cruz-Rubio-Rand thing going on. I found Ben Carson a lot more into it. Like in the past debates, he seemed a little bit too laid back for me. He stepped up. I'm not sure I liked everything he was saying.
B12 shot.
He was certainly a lot more lively. Let's put it that way. Carly just fell a little flat for me, and Kasich fell flat.
Let's get to one other person, and we'll get Juan's thoughts on this. This is Governor Chris Christie, who did not make the main stage at the previous debate, but was resurgent, and by all accounts, by a lot of people, that he did very well.
If your eyes are glazing over like mine, this is what it's like to be on the floor of the United States Senate. I mean, endless debates about how many angels on the head of a pin from people who've never had to make a consequential decision in an executive position. The fact is, for 7 years, I had to make these decisions after 9/11. Make a decision about how to proceed forward with an investigation or how to pull back, whether to use certain actionable intelligence or whether not to. And yet they continue to debate about this bill and in the subcommittee and what. Nobody in America cares about that. What they care about is, are we going to have a president who actually knows what they're doing to make these decisions?
Juan, do you think Chris Christie is actually bridging gaps here that the others are missing as they're down in the weeds?
Bridging.
Well, no, I think he's making the point that he has real experience and that he wants to portray himself as someone who's capable of dealing in real time, in real terms, with difficult decisions on national security, and that the other folks, even the other governors, but certainly the senators, the 3 first-term senators, just don't have that experience. And I think he did well in the debate for that reason, because it was a clear, distinct message. If you watch that debate, you know what Chris Christie's selling. And I think a lot of people would say, you know what, I feel more comfortable with that. Now, let me just get back to 2 other points that have been raised. One, what a distorted debate. My God, no talk about education, no talk about immigration.
It's about national security.
Oh, no, that was such a mistake, because I think that what you've got is a distortion of all that faces our country.
It's the #1 priority for Americans.
Yeah, 16%.
No,
let me just go on.
Get that number. Where did you pull that from?
From Valerie
#1.
Yeah, no, at 16%.
No, that's incorrect.
And you know why it's #1? It's #1 because the candidates are the media and the cable news and the talk radio for Republicans is hyping them to no end.
Talk radio shot up those people in San Bernardino.
Oh, get out of town. Now,
by the way, this is my mono next segment, so you jumped the gun.
Let me go back to,
and the shark.
You raised it earlier. Let me just go back to the debate between Cruz and Rubio.
Wait, you throw out some chum in the water like that?
Yeah, we got to just
Well,
stand down.
I'm glad. I don't want to lose the table around here.
You're almost as loud as your tongue.
Here we go.
No, I just want to point out that
it's futile for me, folks.
No. Democrats agree that the #1 issue, #1 topic, #1 concern in America is national security. So it's not just Republicans and right-wingers.
Can I defend
the
CNN?
economy and jobs, and it has risen among everyone. But in that last poll, it was like 9% of Democrats, 25% of Republicans, and that's after this interminable focus in the campaign and all the echo chamber in conservative media.
When that conservative media attacked Paris, that was something else.
Oh, please.
Okay,
go Dana.
One more shot. I'm going to defend them because when you have 9 candidates and you have that limited, even though it was 2 hours and a bit, and you have that much material to get through, just as in the Cruz and Rubio exchange, you heard somebody then from Siberia, one of the other candidates, say, wait, let me jump in there. So you could, just as you started to get to something where you could really drill down and understand the worldview of one of the candidates, they got a little bit off track. So I thought that having a debate on foreign policy, that's fine. I mean, first of all, remember, it's Republicans who have submitted to many debates. The Democrats actually are holding their debates basically in the back room of a bar that you could not find on a Saturday night.
But you know what? I thought that Governor Christie was right when he said most people watching that debate, watching Rubio go against Cruz, they don't know who's telling the truth, who's right, who's wrong. And so it just strikes you as 2 guys who are looking to take each other on, to pull one down for political purposes. But I will say this morning the Wall Street Journal was very clear in saying that Cruz had been slippery. And it was a matter of bad character, because the United States still has a metadata program, and you can go and get a court order and achieve so many of these goals. And you stop and think, why is Cruz doing that?
Well, if you look at the Glenn Kessler fact checker, the Washington Post guy, he had a lot to say about a lot of the different answers. But I guess we can, you've heard it here first. We've combined the candidates. You've got Cruz, BO, and Trump.
Cruz, BO? It smells great.
What is happening?
You know, the one thing that the thing that ticked me off most, and I think it happened twice in the debate, when 2 candidates started to get to spar, another candidate would interrupt and try to go, no, that's not who we are. Yes, let them spar. Let them fight. It's not because it's entertaining, but you are not the referee in this. If 2 people are going to go at it, you let them go at it. You learn a lot. You see more about their character. You don't break up a fight at McDonald's at 2 a.m., do you?
No.
Stupid.
I would.
Oh, my gosh, Dana.
I don't believe that. And you're never at McDonald's at 2 a.m.
I don't want people to fight.